Welcome to the Sticky Note Marketing Show. I'm your host, Mary Czarnecki. Business leaders today are overwhelmed with a unique set of challenges, from rapidly changing markets to digital disruptions, leaving many uncertain about where to focus their efforts to grow their brands and their businesses. This uncertainty can lead to missed opportunities, wasted resources, and stagnant growth. But it doesn't have to be this way. On this show, I provide clear, actionable strategies and bring in guest experts that cut through the noise and deliver consistent results. I share what works and what doesn't when it comes to effective marketing and growing your business. Tune in to discover the latest insights and proven tactics to make your marketing more profitable, lead your teams with confidence, and achieve success for your brand, business, and personal aspirations. If you've ever wondered if it's possible to skip the overwhelm and map out a plan for success on a simple sticky note, I'm here to tell you that it is. So grab that pen and those sticky notes and let's get started. Welcome to part 3 of our story briefing series on the Sticky Note Marketing Show. I'm your host, Mary Czarnecki, and today we're going to be tackling a crucial part of every effective, inspiring creative brief: setting a clear audience behavior objective. Now, whether or not this term or this phrase is exactly the phrase that's included in your creative brief template that you use in your business, in your brand, stick with me, right? This step is where we're going to identify the action we want the audience to take if we filmed their behavior after they engage in this social post or this content or this email or whatever this piece of communication or creative is going to be. After they engage with it, what do we want them to do? What do we want them to feel? What perception change or attitude change do we truly want to see, so that on the other side of this, when this actually gets executed, we know whether we succeeded or not? So a behavior objective, the kind that we're going to be talking about today, this best practice approach, is going to go beyond just saying, we want to generate awareness. Depending on where this campaign, you're developing this brief, is going to live in the audience journey, sure, awareness may be a key thing that we are trying to create. We are trying to make potentially a cold audience now aware that you exist, that your brand is even a potential solution that should be in their consideration. But my argument is it always has to be in the context of awareness, so that blank, right? We're not looking to just put our brand, put our message, put our information in front of people just so that they know it's there. We want them to do something with that information. We want them to act on that information, maybe not immediately. Maybe they need to do other things, right? Maybe it's a longer consumer journey or customer journey that they have to go through. But eventually, we want them to do something. So for example, in a brief I recently crafted with one of my private clients, we didn't just aim for general awareness of their specific service offering. We wanted to create specific understanding with different audience segments so that they actually took very specific behavioral actions in that customer journey that they had mapped out for those audiences. Right? So for one of the audiences that was brand new to even using this kind of service, this was a trial experience. They'd never done anything like this. And so their experience journey, right, their customer journey, their consumer journey was very different and distinct. And the behaviors along that journey that we were driving were very different than some of the other segments that had maybe potentially worked with competitors, maybe was even working with them. But now this campaign was driving them to act in a different way, or act in a bigger way, or work with this brand in a more extensive capacity. So we had to clearly understand the behavior objective. What did we actually want them to do, think, or feel differently after they experienced this marketing campaign that we were briefing on? So this clear objective has to be aligned not only to the marketing objectives, but ideally to the bigger business goals, things like our sales and our share and our revenue, all those things that we get gold on. But by providing this really clear understanding of what we wanted the audience to do, think, or feel differently after experiencing this campaign, after engaging in this creative that would be coming out of this development process, it aligned the creative team's work with the exact thing we were aiming to see. And it actually, we heard from the creative partners that this was incredibly helpful because it wasn't just superficial information, but we were really arming them with a picture of success so that they knew what they were creating was driving to. They understood where this was going. What does success really truly look like? So when our behavior objective is clear, when we are clear with our creative partners in the brief about what we are trying to achieve, this perceptual, this attitudinal, this behavior shift we are trying to create, it can guide everything else. So imagine the difference between a campaign that says, hey, we want to drive awareness. We want people to know more about our product, versus one that says, great, yes, we are targeting a very cold audience. They are using competitors, but they're not aware of us as a potential solution. So yes, we want to drive awareness, but this is going to be so that we can ultimately get this audience segment to sign up for a free trial. That is the picture of success. That is the behavior we are ultimately driving to. We know that this campaign, maybe for this specific brief, is going to help them take the first step on that journey. Maybe what we're doing is an awareness driving campaign, but now we're providing context even in that brief to what this is ultimately aiming for. What path, what journey are we getting them started on? So that's the power of a really well-crafted, well-defined audience behavior objective within a creative brief. So your task coming out of today, for any brief you've worked on or are working on currently, I want you to look at that and I want you to think about what action, what shift in perception, attitude, or behavior are you really trying to drive? Maybe this creative brief is for a top of funnel or beginning of journey kind of execution where you are just driving awareness. But can you put that into the context of how this fits into everything else in the journey? What is this driving awareness so that blank? Right? It's awareness so that a cold audience will become aware of us and do what, or feel what, or change their opinion of your brand in what way, right? Are we trying to ultimately drive to a subscription, to a sign up, to a click, to a buy now, to an impulse purchase, right? Are we trying to be like a gum brand on a checkout aisle where, yeah, they're not putting out ads saying click here to buy, but we're embedding memories so that when they do walk through those checkouts, that impulse purchase is related to a memory that we've built. Or maybe you are a B2B brand and you have a very long, very intensive sales cycle. So how can, even at the beginning of that sales cycle, maybe in a sales enablement material or something that you're putting out into the market to really connect with that end client or consumer or customer, what is that going to do to ultimately drive what kind of behavior, what shift in attitude or perception? So the more specific, the more clear we can be about what we are trying to achieve, not just the baby steps along the way, not just the breadcrumb trail, but what ultimately those breadcrumbs are leading to. And remember, this audience behavior objective is connected to success, right? This is what ultimately all of these different campaigns knitted together throughout the customer journey is going to be the measure of success, right? This is going to drive our business forward. So thank you for joining me for this 3-part mini series on writing more effective, more engaging, and more inspiring creative briefs. I hope these episodes have helped you to see the value of a well-structured brief. Now, I know I've only talked about 3 sections that are key elements of great, inspiring briefs. So if you would like to go deeper, or if these episodes have brought up more questions than answers for you, feel free to reach out. I will include the links, how you can get in touch where you're either watching or listening to this episode. And I'd love to hear your success stories. So if you have found something that works for your team, maybe you've developed a great brief template, or maybe you found a way to coach your team on developing great creative briefs that inspire your creative partners to develop their best work, also reach out because I would love to feature you as a case study in my upcoming articles. So until next time, keep those sticky notes handy and happy creative briefing. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Sticky Note Marketing Show. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, keep it simple and stay focused.